Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Wednesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across back over to our friends over in the States and, of course, speak with a very special guest on the show. Of course, funny enough, we actually had her sister on the show about 2 hours ago, and of course, playing at Davidson. Of course, this particular player now is playing at Campbell at the moment, of course, not too far from where her sister is at Davidson. Of course, her name's Audrey. She joins us right now. Thanks, Audrey, for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
No worries. Well, I guess how's it been like in the pre-season for you?
Well, I'm a freshman, so I got onto campus about 2 months ago now. Pre-season has been a big adjustment, obviously, because I graduated in 2020, so I've had a whole year off from school and basketball. So obviously getting back into time management and stuff has been an adjustment. Yeah.
Finishing year 12 last year and then making the commitment to go across to the US. So my question I want to ask you is, when did you decide that you wanted to go over to college?
I committed to Campbell University early in 2020, so about February. So I've been committed for quite a while. I went on an unofficial visit when I visited Adelaide at Davidson for Christmas in 2019, and that's where they offered me a scholarship. In high school, I wasn't really convinced on going to college. It was an interest of mine, but once coming and visiting the campus, that's when I knew that I wanted to do it. So, yeah.
Obviously, we just mentioned about Adelaide, who we actually had on the show about 2 hours ago with a couple of her Davidson teammates. Has she given you any advice on how to cope with college life, considering she's been over here already?
She said the first few months are going to be tough, just adjusting and being away from home. But she said after that, it just gets better, and meeting new people obviously helps. So.
Now, she did mention that you're not too far from where she is, where your college is. I guess how special is that knowing that, she's not that far away from where you are?
Yeah. I mean, my first few weeks here, adjusting was hard. I missed my family and stuff. But then I got to visit her a couple times, so that made it much easier. So having her, it's a 2.5-hour drive away from where I am, so it's not far at all. And it's good to have her here.
You mentioned that it's only a 2-hour drive from where you are. So whereabouts is Campbell University for everyone who have no idea where that is?
Yeah, I think I didn't even know where it was, to be honest. But I still don't know where it is, but it's actually about a 40-minute drive from Raleigh, which is a city in North Carolina. It's near Charlotte, so it's not too far away. But we're actually scrimmaging against her on Saturday, yeah.
No, I wish you mentioned that in the interview. So, Audrey, I need to ask you then, how strange will it be, number one, to see on the other side of the court your sister, and are you more determined than ever to try to beat her?
Oh, definitely. I really want to beat her. I think it'll be a really good game. It's not an official game. We're just, doing 4 quarters, reset score every quarter, I think. But it'll be good to get a bit of competition. Obviously, she's much taller than me, so I won't be guarding her, which is great because I would get destroyed. But yeah, it'll be good to see her on the other side of the bench. And I know a few of their Australian players. I played against them at nationals, so it'll be good to play against them.
So who's the better basketball player out of you and Adelaide?
That's a really hard question. Well, we play very different positions. I'm a point guard, shooting guard, and she's a center. So you can't really compare who's the better player. But she's obviously better at post moves and scoring. I'm obviously better at ball handling and shooting. So
now let's talk a bit about your team in particular. Yeah. Any expectations at all for the upcoming season?
Well, my team placed first in our conference in 2019, and we placed second last year. So we're hoping to get to win the competition this year. So we're one of the top 2 teams. Obviously, with changes in the roster, it'll be interesting to see how we go. But we're hoping to make it to the tournament. So.
for you, what are you trying to get out of this season, being your freshman year?
Well, being my freshman year, obviously I want to play, but we don't. As a freshman, you never expect much. But I just want to get a feel for the college basketball. Like, I've played in Australia. I haven't really ever played in America, so it'll be interesting to see how I go. But I just want to get better and develop for next year.
Now you've been there for what, 2 months now, as you mentioned. Have you sort of climatized now to what you're going to be used to over in college, or are you homesick? Even though I know Adelaide's only 2 hours away from you.
Yeah. The first month or so, I was really homesick. Like, it comes and goes. There's 2 other internationals in my team, and they tell me that it never really goes away. Like, you're always pretty homesick, but I think it just gets better with time, and I'm just excited to come home for the summer as well. So.
I'm assuming you're the only Aussie over there at the moment at your college. I guess, does it help for the fact that Adelaide is not that far from where you are?
Yeah, it's definitely a big help. Like, it's good knowing that I've got family near me, and I can see her basically whenever I want. I'm spending Christmas with her, which is good. But yeah, it just makes it better adjusting to college when someone in your family's done it before you.
Tell us a bit about your amazing coaches there at Campbell.
Well, my head coach is Ronnie Fisher. He's been coaching at the school for, I think, 5 years now. He's really turned the program up, like, for the better. They've been a winning team for the past 5 years. They obviously, as I said, they won the conference 2 years ago. Obviously, with COVID, the NCAA tournament was cancelled, so they couldn't compete in that. But he's a really good coach. He loves to win, so it's always good. And he's really competitive, loves a defensive focus. So, yeah, he's good. And then we have 3 assistant coaches. Pierre Miller, who's a guard. He trains with us, very enthusiastic, faster than anyone I've ever seen, but he's great to guard. And then we got Coach Hall and Lindsay Bowen, who played college basketball and played at a high level, and she's a really good shooter. So very good coaching team that would help me develop. So,
is there any players in your team we should watch out for?
We got Shai Toole, who played, who is a senior. Yeah, she's a senior, and she played last year. She got named in the all-conference team. So she's a really good shooter, scorer. She can basically do everything. Then we got Taya, who's a 6-year senior. She's a post player. She's really good. She got named, I think, second conference, maybe. But she's really good. She's my height, but she can somehow defend 6'3", 5 girls and score. So I don't know how, but she does it.
Has the team welcomed you into the team and I guess make you feel at home, considering obviously you're new to the team?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been very welcoming. All the girls have been really nice. Have shown me the roles in America, like how everything works. But yeah, everyone's really welcoming, especially my roommates who I live with, who are the other freshmen in my team. And yeah, everyone's been welcoming.
You might as well tell us who your other roommates who are freshmen in your team, and what have you learnt from those roommates?
My roommate on this side of the room is Courtney. She's a 6'3", 2'3" center, and I actually went to visit her house for fall break in Pennsylvania. Coming from the city, she lives on a farm, so that was a different experience for me. But yeah, then we've got Bree Yaba, who's from Virginia, and she's also from the country. And then we've got Talia.
So you mentioned that you've already visited one of them already before you've started there. Are you hopefully going to get to go to see the other two? Considering obviously Virginia is pretty close to Pennsylvania, and obviously you mentioned where the other one was from.
Yeah, I'm hoping to spend like lots of time with them. I want to visit. I'm not sure if we'll have time because we've only got Christmas break and then we got summer break, so I don't know when I'll visit, but I'm hoping to, meet all their families and stuff. So yeah.
I'm assuming your sister got you into the sport of basketball.
Yeah, I kind of started basketball in primary school,
Okay.
and Adelaide played before I did. So my mom was actually our coach in primary school, so that kind of helped a little bit. But yeah, that's how I kind of got into it.
What would be some highlights throughout your basketball journey?
I played NBL 1 last year, this year actually, up until I left, which was pilot. I ended up starting on the team, so that's playing at a semi-professional level as a person just out of high school is obviously a good achievement. And then I've competed in a few nationals representing Queensland. I won silver medal in 2020 and we won bronze this year. So.
You mentioned about NBL 1, North Conference. You might as well tell us who that team that you played for.
I played for the Brisbane Capitals.
How surreal was that experience? And was that, I guess, a bit of a jump start in regards to knowing what to probably expect when now you're over in college?
Yeah, playing at a level with people that have finished college and people that have played professionally, and people that are still playing professionally, it's good to play with women who know the sport and make you compete. Obviously, it's great to prepare you for what you're to expect in college. So I think it's just much better than playing against people who are just your age. So yeah.
What does the sport of basketball mean to you, and especially now being there at Campbell for the past 2 months?
School is just obviously part of my life. Has been since for like 10, 11 years. I love the sport. I love winning. So it's great. And it's provided me with the opportunity for a free education and the opportunity to play at college level. And you obviously don't get that in Australia. So it's great to come overseas.
What would be your short and long-term goals in the sport of basketball?
Short term is obviously to finish out this season. I want my team to do well, but I also hope to play well, to get minutes on the court, just to compete. And that's basically all I want from this season. And then long term, obviously you want to play professionally, maybe potentially in the future. But I don't really know what I want to do long term, to be honest.
What would be your advice for people back home that should get involved in basketball?
Probably just to get out of your comfort zone. You got to be uncomfortable to get better, I guess. So just doing everything not at a level that you know you can do, but that you want to be able to do in the future. So yeah.
How have you found, juggling school, training, and obviously game day when you eventually get there?
I during high school, I did a lot of basketball while I was studying. So I'm kind of getting used to it again. Having that year off, or the few months off, doing just basketball and working a little bit, it was kind of relaxing. So I'm just getting used to managing my time and doing stuff when in advance and not the night before it's due.
Considering you haven't quite experienced the US weather when it gets to their winter, obviously you're from Queensland. So has your sister Adelaide warned you about what the weather's going to be like in North Carolina?
Well, where I am, it doesn't snow, thank God, but it does get cold. But yeah, she told me to make sure to have plenty of hoodies. That's about it. But yeah.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, the best dancer on the team?
Comedian. Everyone in my team's pretty funny. They make me laugh from time to time. Probably comedian would be either Taya, our 6-year senior. She's pretty funny. Or Drea. She's a sophomore this year, but she's pretty hilarious. Best dancer would have to be Drea. I've seen some interesting moves in the locker room from her.
The other one is anyone on the team into their TikToks and especially is any of them TikTok famous yet?
Well, everyone's into TikTok on my team. I don't really make TikToks, but I do like watching them. But we've got Sarah, who's a sophomore this year. She loves her TikToks. She makes TikToks. One of her TikToks went TikTok famous. So yeah, but everyone loves making them. But not really anyone who's majorly TikTok famous. But we've had some popular videos.
Every time I've had an Aussie player on the show who are over in the US, I've asked these 3 specific questions, which I'm going to ask you now. The first one is, has anyone on the team tried to put the Aussie accent, and how's that traveling?
When I tell you, it is so bad. It's not even exaggerated. It is terrible. They sound like British or English or something. They don't even get relatively close.
Have you convinced any of your teammates to come with you back to Queensland for the summer?
Well, Courtney, who I visited her house on fall break, she really wants to come to Australia. Obviously, some of my teammates want to come to Australia because, the legal drinking age is 18, but we don't talk about that one. But yeah, they really are interested in the climates, the beaches, and I think they all really want to visit just for a new experience. But yeah.
I'd love to know if I got a very similar answer, like vibe from Davidson now down to where you are in Campbell, which is, has any of your teammates, or have you tried to convince any of your teammates that we have kangaroos as pets?
Yes. They think we can just go up and pat them. You can't do that. They think you can just walk up and pat a kangaroo. No. I have been asked if we ride them to school, and do I say no? No, I say yes.
You better hope your teammates don't watch this.
Yeah, I hope so. They won't. It'll be my coaches.
You try to convince your teammates that we have drop bears.
They kind of know what koalas are. Like, they don't assume that they just fall out of the sky and attack you. But yeah, I think they just think our pets, our animals, you can just go and cuddle them. Like, you can't. They're wild animals. They'll scratch your face off.
Yeah. Do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I don't really have one. I always like to get a big meal in before, like in the morning if I have a game in the afternoon, just so I'm not tired. I don't like eating before games, so like right before, otherwise I feel sick. But that's about it.
How special was it to play with your sister? If you ever played, on the same team. Yeah. And what have you learnt from her, and what do you think she's learnt from you?
Well, I played on my sister on a few occasions. I played rep basketball with her in under 18s when I was bottom age, she was top age. I also played with my little sister before I left in club basketball. So I played with both of my sisters. Obviously, them being different positions, I've learned that if you don't pass it to the post, you get in trouble. But yeah, basically just playing with them, I've learned to share the ball, how to work off post players, and it's good because they just play different positions, so I don't have to compete with them.
I wish Adelaide mentioned this one as well. Now you just mentioned it. So you said you got a little sister as well that plays. Is she thinking about coming across to the US as well eventually to play?
Yeah, I think that's something she might be interested in. I'm not sure if, because she's only 16, 15. Yeah. She I think she just turned 15. Anyway, she I think it's something that's on her radar, but I'm not sure if she's set on it at the moment. But she just competed at nationals under 16s. Mm-hmm. And she was the third top point scorer in the competition, and she played really well. So she has a bright future if she continues with basketball.
You mentioned about that. Now, I believe her queen, and this is going to be my final question. Okay. Now, you just mentioned about that. Now, I believe, my memory serves me correct, Queensland South won the nationals in 16s
Yes.
in Darwin recently. So has she got a bit of bragging rights in the family at the moment that she's won nationals, and you in Adelaide have or haven't yet won nationals yet?
Neither Adelaide or I have won nationals. I've got second. I think Adelaide got silver one year. So she does have bragging rights. Also, we did not the top point scorer in under 16s. We weren't even close to that. So she's definitely the most developed at her age. So she should be a pretty good player.
Audrey, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. I can't believe this is like the first time ever I've had sisters on the show on the same day. It's 2 hours apart. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. Hopefully I'll be coming over to the US later on in the year, and hopefully get to catch up with you and obviously Adelaide as well over the Christmas, New Year, hopefully, when the borders open fully. And yeah, wish you all the best, and please send our best wishes to your Campbell women's basketball team for us.
I will. Thanks for having me.
No worries. And that's Audrey Filler there joining us from the Campbell women's basketball team. Of course, if you want to follow their progress throughout the 21-22 season, we'll put their schedule up in the coming days. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the Wednesday edition.